again, my name's Brent Naccara. I'm from the Houston Texans. Lucky to have John Kitto joining us today. He's going to provide you with far better content, I promise, than me, because he's more of a what I call a subject matter expert in this. I consider myself basically a customer or a user, more of a middleman in this. So basically, what we'll brief you on is our operations here. So NRG Stadium out of Houston, Texas, obviously, where we play the Houston Texans home games. 72,200 fans capacity. With staff, you've probably got over 75,000 people here on any given game day, right? So just wanted to paint a small picture of that for you. We have a retractable roof. Having said that, due to Houston weather, as if anyone's familiar, we keep the roof closed, I'd say 90% of the time. So we do have this challenge of having an open roof, and we typically only open it one time, maybe two per season. And that obviously mitigates a great deal of this type of risk that we're talking about today. But obviously still have risk when the roof is closed, to parking lot areas, outside areas. You can see there an overview of NRG Park, which is where NRG Stadium is housed, kind of there in the middle. We've got 350 acres, 26,000 parking spaces, which is of the larger for NFL stadiums. So you've got a lot of ground to cover. Borders a major highway there. You can see on the bottom, Highway 610, which is at least 6 lanes across, and we're within only about 1.5 miles of the Texas Medical Center. And so obviously, the impact there is helicopter flights, airspace, etc. So just want to paint a small picture of what we do and how we operate. What John's going to go over is basically our event-based and event-driven operation for Texans games. What I'll just brief you on quickly is our daily operation. So the Houston Texans are based out of NRG Stadium. Obviously, we practice here as well. So you can see the 3 practice fields to the left of NRG Stadium, as well as our indoor facility, which is basically an air bubble. We've got a system in place that operates 24/7, that we partner with our stadium management company. And it's a drone detection system. It's Air Guard is the name of it. I'm sure you guys are familiar, but that is what we use on a daily basis, non-event day, practice day. That's what we use. From my perspective, it's obviously detection only. Any response or mitigation is on the person or the people that are getting the alert, taking a look at the map and trying to at best determine where the flight originated from and possibly locate the operator that way. So from a challenge perspective, there's a great deal of challenge, right? So we aren't able to do much other than get an alert that there's a drone in the air. We can track where it took off from and see the flight path, see where it goes down, and hopefully with help of our law enforcement that is on duty, track those folks down, right? More elaborately, and as we'll cover here with John, is our event-based operation. And so we're lucky enough to partner with great federal and local partners here for game day operation. We have requirements by the NFL to have drone detection in place for not only our games, but all NFL games. And we were lucky enough this year to have some extra help by John and his group, with a program that he's going to describe. So, John, take it away.
Yes, sir. Pleasure to be here, guys. I'm a 20-year veteran of the Federal Air Marshal Service. We haven't always been in the UAS realm, but I've been involved with it since we started with it. Picture there is our temporary deployment of a D-drone aerial detection system. Uh, right now, our deployment attitude is working with the local police departments in conjunction with them. We can see where the pilots are on most of the systems that are flying in this area. With NRG, their TFR is 3 miles wide, 3.4 miles wide. So we actually cover more than just the stadium grounds because the pilots, as we know, fly into the TFRs. And that's what we usually work on is the temporary flight restrictions. We've been doing the Texans games kind of in an unofficial role with the local police departments and HSI in order to get ready for FIFA up and coming. This is one of the slides I put together real quickly, just kind of talking about my experience, because we have just gotten back from Mardi Gras for the second time. And we work real closely with the partners there in Louisiana, the state police, the local police. Coast Guard was there both times. They were giving us the mitigation piece. Our biggest concern is one system doesn't cover everything. So we really like partnering with people, getting more agencies involved, using different detection systems, different mitigation pieces, because what mine will detect may not detect the drone sitting right next to it, but yours might. And that's always helpful. And that's why we like to work with everybody. Nobody has the best solution in the world yet. It just doesn't exist out there. But if we can all work together, it helps. So on our C-UAS operations, most of what we do now is we always send out ground teams. So you have the ground intercept teams, and we coordinate with the command post to be sure that they can get to where they're going. We can go to that next slide, please. And so our successes have been Mardi Gras this year and last. We've successfully worked the Texans games. We've communicated with all the pilots that we saw during Texans games that would take off. We did Mardi Gras last year. And Super Bowl as well. So the lessons learned in all this is we found that in the large format events, it is necessary for us to not only have the mitigation pieces out there deployed in different areas, but that the ground intercept teams need to be widely dispersed, because once the crowd gets in on that stadium and starts converging on that location, getting through is almost impossible if you don't have teams on either side, especially such as a Mardi Gras. You're not going to cross the parade route. When you get into the Texans games, we found streets were blocked off for crowd control purposes, different routes that we would have to take in order to meet the pilots that we were trying to get to. So it helped that we deploy very strategically based on crowd expectation. Right now we rely mostly on RF detection. I deploy with the Secret Service on a regular basis, so I'm very familiar with the other versions of detection. I've also done the UN General Assembly with them. There's just, after looking at everything, there's not one solution that fits it all, but as many different pieces as you can get together, it helps. And with that, you're discussing previous presenter, a platform where everybody can see that's involved. Here locally with the state of Texas and DPS helping out, we've been able to push a lot of the platforms from other agencies into the, what DOD uses is TAC. They call it Team Awareness Kit on our side, which is also initial TAC. So the civilian side, we've gotten a lot of that data pushed to TAC, and I'm working on integrating more, and so that everybody in the field doesn't have to have direct access to each individual piece. If all the pieces can broadcast to one central unified group, then we can broadcast it on TAC and everybody can see where they're closest to the drone. It really worked well during Mardi Gras this year, even to the point where you're involving a ground intercept team that's standing next to the pilot and doesn't even know they're standing next to it because they're not actually a ground intercept team. We turned them into it. It was another unit that was there for parade security. It was easy just to tell them, hey, turn around. they're right there, and it worked. So we're trying to do that shared data across all the platforms. It isn't always foolproof, and there are some technical glitches with some of the equipment out there, but we have been very successful in the past doing that, and we continue to use it. Sometimes it requires being on multiple TAC servers, but luckily, this particular software that we're using, TAC, will allow us to integrate different servers together. The officers in the field have been able to use it very, very easily and quickly, and I appreciate it. So it's helped that a lot. Most of our intercept, again, is finding the pilot. Most of the electronic mitigation out there goes after the drone itself. So with us using detection as our primary and mitigation as our partnering secondary at this time, we've been very successful with our ground teams finding the pilot, even to the point where we'll find the pilot after somebody has mitigated their drone, which can lead to some interesting interactions. A little bit of gnashing of teeth. It's funny to a point. So far to date in all of our interactions, most of these people are careless and clueless. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't look at this as an aircraft like we do, but we all know, that's why we're here, that this is a serious issue that we're going to have to address, and somebody's going to get smart enough to try something. Just trying to get it all together so that it doesn't happen. Let's see, how am I doing on my slide here? Integrating the single graphical interface, got that. Not everybody can push to TAC. That's why if you can't push to TAC, it's good that we're all in one unified command room, because that piece will just let us know where it's at. Drop pins will be on a shared text string, and we can immediately dispatch the ground intercept teams on TAC. So fiber optic drones, that's a good question. And to the point, that's where you would hope radar would work, but it's not foolproof at this time. Not one system catches everything. So we have not yet seen at any of our events a fiber drone fly into our TFRs, but we are expecting it. Radar has got its main issues. When we're in these urban environments, radar is only as good as far as it can see. It's nice when you're up on a high tower and you can see over the top, but in many instances, such as at Mardi Gras, we found a lot of these drones fly very low over the crowd. They don't necessarily go into a position where you would even track them with radar. So not to fly drones, signs are the biggest thing. The media is always helpful if we can get our partners to partner with the media to help broadcast it. At Mardi Gras, they were doing that on social media, signs around the working field. At NRG, there are signs as you enter. It wasn't unusual for us at NRG to intercept pilots that were operating from the tailgating party on the outside of the stadium during the game. That we caught several of those. The neighborhood wasn't as active during those games that we worked.